hope that's not the Rona. Hey, it's JC and welcome back. This week, we're talking about the 5 tips that I wish I'd got before I started shooting street. And these are what I'd wish someone had sat me down and said, now, JC, look, when a mummy photographer and a daddy photographer really love each other, so around this time, you're going to notice hair growing in places that you didn't have hair before. Sometimes mummy photographers stop loving daddy photographers. We had to take his street photos out to the farm, but I think they're going to be really happy there. If someone had given me these tips years ago, I probably wouldn't suck so much as I do right now, and I would have started from a much greater base. So come along with me for the journey, and I'll walk you through the 5 tips that I wish I'd received prior to starting my street photo journey, and hopefully they're useful to you. Tip number 1 is get low. Like Little John and the East Side Boys bequeathed this. Getting low is important. Getting low gives you context, allows you to capture a little more in the frame. People seem to move to the center of the frame, and therefore it allows you to turn something uninteresting into interesting, which is effectively what street is. So getting low works. You don't have to lay down on the street because that would be weird, but at least crouching. Shooting from the hip is a start. So rather than being here, start here and move further south, if you know what I'm saying. Then crouching. So crouching like this gives you a slightly better angle. It allows you to, for the most part, put a little bit more within the center of the frame and thus creating more interest, specifically in the center of the frame, if that's what you're going for. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to know your camera better than you know yourself. Just like your girlfriend knows where you keep your nudie mags.
Hey, now we're talking.
You need to know where all the important settings are within your camera. Where do you set your white balance manually? Where's the shutter speed dial? Where's exposure compensation? You need to know how to change these things quickly. If someone had told me buy one camera, a good camera, actually it could be a shit camera too, that doesn't really matter. Just buy a camera and learn it and learn everything about it and know how to, but more importantly, know how to change the settings quickly and be able to adjust to the changing light conditions in that camera very quickly. If you can do that, then it makes the forever changing environment on the street a little easier to deal with. Just a little bit, like a little, like not like it's going to be groundbreaking, but at least it gives you a head start. Tip number 3 is wait around a lot. Waiting around a lot is really important. Sometimes you find a nice location and you're like, man, this makes for a great street shot. There's no one around. Sometimes just wait. Look awkward, stand there with your hands in your pockets, look at your phone, dance to the Spice Girls, do whatever it is you need to do to stand there once you've found the composition and just wait. I wish I'd received this feedback a lot earlier, because what I do is, if you see my videos, I'm fast. I walk and I don't wait. I'm spending maybe 10, maybe 15 seconds in a location that I'm moving. But from what I've learned over the last few years, and particularly through the I Suck at Street Photography series, is that waiting around has some virtues, and those virtues typically yield quite positive results, so long as you're willing to put in the time. Rather than taking one shot at and running away, maybe you give yourself 3, maybe you give yourself 5 opportunities to take the shot. And then of those 5, maybe you get something interesting. Whereas if you're doing it one time only every time, and then you're moving on, you only give yourself that one opportunity. So hopefully I can start doing that a bit more, and you can too. Tip number 4 is the closer the better. You got to get in really, really close. I mean, we're not playing personal space invaders here, but you need to get a little close. I've found that anywhere from 1 meter to 2 meters is good. It allows you to sort of crop out in camera your subject. It allows you to crop in to a person's expression. It allows you to crop into what their eyes are doing, what they're looking at. You can start to make some assumptions based on what you're seeing to what the subject's potentially thinking, and maybe you can start to go to the next step and think about perhaps what they're going to do next. Grabbing a moment that's truly candid is very difficult, and so if you can sort of get in there close amongst the action to capture those little details, little moments that are often missed. And that's kind of what you're out there trying to capture, is these little details and moments. And doing it from far away, in my experience, is very difficult. So that's step 4. Get close. Get real close. Not uncomfortably close, because that would be silly, particularly in these Rona times. But, get close. Tip 5, it is okay to be awkward AF, because shooting strangers on the street is awkward AF. And so walking around with your camera, it's going to be weird. You have to get comfortable with looking like an idiot. It's my natural state. For me, it's easy. But you have to sign up for an element of awkwardness. You're gonna take a photo of someone and they're gonna look at you weird. You're gonna be up real close to someone and they're gonna be like, yo, what's up with the camera in my face? Just take a photo of me? What are you doing? Security! Are you taking photos? What's going on? And all these things add up to you being okay with getting a little awkward sometimes. If you struggle at that, buy a long lens and stand meters away. Be a little awkward, because let's be honest, taking photos of people on the street is weird. But be confident with that. Be confident in your awkwardness. Be confident in being weird, and just run with it. Embrace it. I'm okay with it. You've probably seen in my videos, I kind of just wander around, take photos. If people get angry or whatever, I don't really mind. I haven't really had that situation anyways, but if they were, I'm just like, oh, hey man, usually just a smile and yeah, I'm a huge dork, get around me. And typically that is enough for people to go, that guy is a huge dork. I don't care, he's non-threatening. Bonus tip, number 6, is time on the street is key. Being out there and shooting as often as you can leads to more opportunities. More time to shoot equals more photos on your memory card, or more negatives if you want. And that leads to eventually better photos. And so don't do what I did when I first started, and it's go out kind of whenever you could. Like maybe you'll go out after work on a Thursday. Maybe next week you'll go out on Friday, and maybe next month you'll do a little more street shooting. Maybe you'll head out and shoot a couple more afternoons or something. Key, I think, is to go out there as often as you can. Lunch breaks, after work, before work, as often as you can, to shoot as often as you can. More time out there gives you more opportunities to find interesting things, because simply by virtue of being out there, you're able to think, you're able to compose, you're able to put yourself into situations where you could be taking a photo. Whereas if you're sitting at home, you're just sitting at home, you're not actually doing anything. And so the more you can get out, the more you can shoot, the better. So that's it. Hopefully you found these tips useful. I certainly wish someone had told me this before I started wasting money on camera gear and wasting time doing the same old boring shots. Wish someone had just told me. It would have been useful. But I have to figure this out myself. So hopefully by me making this video, you don't have to go through the same trouble as me. Hopefully after shooting straight for 5 years, you don't suck as bad as I do. Because I only have the best intentions for you, dear audience. It is important for you to grow as a street photographer. It's important for you to, through my failures, find hope in your own skills and make something awesome. One day I hope to do that. But for now, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.